So as you guys should have already saw, you know, jerk chicken video is on the channel, and as you know, I served some festivals along with it. So here you are. How do you make festivals to serve with fried fish, fried chicken? You can have it with anything, to be honest. Me, I like to have it with little jerk because that's the way to do it, you feel me? Just having the sweet with the spice. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you're liking it. Of course, if you are a new subscriber, then welcome to the family. We love to see it. If you're not subscribed, come on, subscribe, join the family. We're releasing videos every week. Want to get you guys cooking and feeling good. So yeah, ingredients list will always be in the description down below. Let's get straight into making some festivals. So in this jug here, I have sieved about 2 cups of self-raising flour. Yeah, to be fair, when I'm making festivals and the way I was taught, I never actually measured, so I'm kind of going with the ancestral vibes right now of how much I'm going to use. But I've got 2 cups in here, and then I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of fine cornmeal. So basically the ratio is 2 cups of flour to a 1/4 cup of fine cornmeal. Make sure it's fine and not coarse. So I'm just going to add in about a 1/4 cup, and I'm just going to sieve that in like so. And then once I've done that, I'm actually going to give it a mix so that I can tell if I need some more cornmeal or not, because that's just something that, you know, again, the ancestors will help me with this one. So I think I'm gonna add 1 more tablespoon. So I think I added 3 heaped tablespoons, so I'm gonna add 1 more. And then we're good to go. Then once you've sieved all that in, you want to add some salt and some sugar. Now, salt wise, I would say 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of salt actually. Yeah, 2 teaspoons of salt. And then with sugar, I'm going to start off with 1 heaped tablespoon and a half. Yeah, that should be fine. And then also I'm going to add a little pinch of nutmeg, just a little bit, not too much, and a little pinch of cinnamon as well. That's how I like to do it. Mix this all together like so. And even what my grandma taught me when I was little is to taste the flour, which sounds really, you know, it might sound strange, but you know, again, you learn from the teacher, don't you? So what she would do is she would tell me to like either wet my finger and dip it in, or wet the end of like a spoon like this, dip it in just so that you've got a bit of flour on it, taste it on your tongue, and if you can't taste the salt or the sugar, then you need to add a little bit. Now in this, I can't lie, I feel like it needs a bit more sugar, so I'm actually going to boost up the sugar and make it 2 tablespoons as opposed to 1.5. And now we're good. Because remember, they're festivals, they're supposed to be sweet. So, oh, and I should probably point out, I'm using caster sugar because I've ran out of normal granulated sugar. So with this recipe, it uses caster sugar. With regular sugar, it will probably be less sugar than that. But I mean, follow what we're doing today and you should be good. So once you have your dry mix here, get a bowl that you like to knead in. And the reason why I say that is because Again, you guys hear me speak a lot about my grandma on this channel. There's a picture of her in my kitchen that I look at always, and this is actually her bowl. And she used to make dumplings in this. She had a big one, she had a smaller one, she had loads, but it had to be this type of bowl. Now you guys can use any bowl that you want. This is like my go-to bowl for making dumplings or festival. So I just pour the whole of that mixture in, and then what you're going to need is a cup of some cold water, which I have here, and you're going to need some milk. You're not going to need much milk, you'll just need a bit of milk. And to start off with first, I'm just going to add 3 tablespoons of milk. And that's because you don't need so much milk as opposed to so much water, if that makes sense. So I'm going to leave the milk to the side just in case I want to add some more, but for now we've got 3 tablespoons of milk. And then I'll measure this part out as well, even though I never measure the amount of milk or water. And then I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons of water. I hope you guys can see, it's like really sunny in my kitchen today. If you can't, then I apologize, but what you need to use is a knife. I always use a knife to mix it first, and then just mix the dough like this. And the reason why I use a knife, again, I couldn't really tell you, it's just something that my grandma taught me. I think it's to get everything off of the sides and to make it easier. So once you start to actually knead it with your hands, you're not doing too much work other than actually kneading the flour together. So as you see, it will start to work together like this. Add a bit more water. So that's then 1, 2, 3 more tablespoons. So I'm not sure how much that is total, but as you guys will see in the description, the exact measurements. And don't add all the water in at once, add it gradually. Okay, adding water gradually means that you won't need to add too much and then you need to add more flour, and yeah, you don't want that situation to happen. I'm going to add a bit more milk now as well. So I'm adding 1, 2, 3 more tablespoons of milk, and then that will be enough milk for now. Just keep going like this. And then once it begins to look like this, it won't need so much water or anything. You're going to need some more, but it's not going to need a lot. So just get a bit more cold water in your cup. And then because I have nails, I'm actually going to be using gloves to knead this up. But, you know, you can wash your hands and do it without the glove. You don't have to. I'm just doing that way because it's cleaner for me. Okay, so I'm gonna get this and literally just begin to work it together like so. And as you'll be able to see, it will start to form a dough, but you can still see there's a little bit of grainy bits here which will need some more water. So just pour in a little bit more, like another tablespoon, and then again just keep working it in. And as you work it around, get your hand and scrape the bowl. If the bowl is clean, then you're onto a winner. Again, a little bit more water, so a tablespoon at a time. And look, see, now it's got to the point where I won't add any more water to this. Okay, so I'm just going to keep on kneading this together. Right, and this won't need no more water now, even though you guys can see the like excess at the bottom. That's where you take the dough and you pick it up, and then you use that excess to knead it back into the dough. Don't use any more water at this point, because if you use any more water it's going to get sticky and that's not what you want. Just take your time, use the dough to wipe the bowl, and then just keep kneading the dough. Again, just wipe. Look, as you can see, the bowl is getting cleaner and cleaner, so this is a good sign. And then once your bowl is practically clean and you've got all that excess off of the side, just give your dough a knead like this for about 10 minutes. Take breaks in between, of course, if you need to, but just give it a good knead for about 10 minutes, and then after this we're going to cover it in cling film and let it rest for a little bit. And leaving it to rest, it does something great, believe me. So yeah, I'm going to carry on kneading this for 10 minutes, and then I should be able to actually check on the chicken, which I'm doing at the same time. So yeah, I'm going to knead this, leave it to rest, and then we're going to fry them later. I've been kneading this now for about 10 to 15 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this in some cling film. What I could actually do is just wrap the bowl like this, but I'm going to cover the bowl like that, flip it over, remove the bowl, and then just wrap this up. And then I'm just going to rest this to the side literally until I'm ready to fry it. The longer the better, but I'm going to leave it for maybe about 30 minutes and then I'm going to get frying these. Okay, so I've got a pot here with some oil heating up about halfway. You don't need too much oil, but you don't want a little bit as well. And then here I've got my dough, which as you can see, when you do that, it's nice and soft. That's exactly how you want it. It's been resting for about 45 minutes actually, so it's even better than before. So what I'm going to do is unwrap the dough, and then what I normally like to do as well is get the same bowl that I was using before, put the dough back in there, and for this I won't use a glove because it's fine now, it's not messy. And then I just give it one more knead just to get it working again, like how it's been sitting there for a while. And then as you can see, smooth dough, nice and soft, all of that. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys how to make them into the shape that you want. But what you're basically going to do, you're going to rip off like a small amount like that, because they will get bigger. And what some people do, they add baking powder to it, which makes them swell a little bit. I don't want mine to swell, so I'm just doing them like this, and I get my palms and I use that bit of it just to roll it into a sausage shape, like so. And what I would normally do is just kind of keep them in a sausage shape, but because it's you guys, I'm going to do something fancy today, so I'm just going to pull them like that. And I'm going to do another one like that. I'm going to do the same thing again. To test your oil, all that you need is a wooden spoon, and a YouTuber taught me this. His name's Quan Tran. His channel is amazing. I'm one of his biggest fans, and yeah, he taught me how to do this. So to check if your oil is hot enough, you put a wooden spoon in, and if you see bubbles around the wooden spoon, it means your oil is ready. So if I zoom in, you can see that there's small amounts of bubbles there. Now, I don't think it's just about there yet, because the bubbles didn't come up straight away. But a good tip before frying any of your festivals anyway, just make a little mini one and fry it. Now if it gets brown very quickly, it means your oil is too hot. So I'm going to leave it for a little bit and see how brown it's going to get. Now straight off the bat, it should not be getting brown. It should just float. It should stay white, and then gradually it will go to a brown colour. Okay, so I actually think that this oil is fine. And your festival should look like this. There is no perfect length or whatever, you just do what you like. So my oil is right between medium low and low. That's the heat of the oil. But what I always do, I always heat it up first and then cool it down afterwards. It makes it easier. So when you put in your festivals, make sure drop it away from you like so that the oil doesn't splash back on you. And then whilst that is in there, you can roll up some more and get ready to fry those as well. And as you guys can see, nice golden brown festivals. So sometimes if I'm rushing, it will feel like I actually ruin a few festivals before I get it right. But you just want the oil to be at a temperature where, to be fair, I could probably try and test the temp so I can give you guys the exact. But I told you guys already, my ancestors, we don't measure anything. You just test and try until you get it right. So I know that probably sounds confusing, but trust me, trust the process. And the way you've got to think of it is it's flour, water, sugar and milk. You can afford to do it a couple of times to perfect it the way that it needs to be done. Perfect. Nice and crispy. But these ones, this next batch is going to be the truth. Because this is how you want it. Like, this isn't even fully done yet, because you just want it to really cook the inside. You don't want doughy festivals or dumplings. You don't want doughy festivals or dumplings. So, and you don't want them to feel like they're really, really, really dark. Okay, and then when you're ready to take some of them out, so like this one here is done, just drain it off, put it into a bowl. This one's about ready as well. And put it into a bowl and set it to the side. And the frying process, it should take, each batch, as you can see, I'm adding in as I go along, but it should take you about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to cook them. No, not 5 to 10 minutes, let me say 8 to 10 minutes, because you need time for the inside to cook and the outside. So this one at the back here is ready. Once it's golden brown and looks like this, your festival is done. So I'm just going to put it with the others. And take your time, guys. Cooking festival isn't a rush thing. If you rush it, you're going to have cooked nice crispy outside and then it's going to be raw on the inside, and you don't want it to run your belly. Yeah, everyone's method's different. for that. That festival is ready. So we're going to put that in as well. Actually, you know what? No, that could do with some more colour. This one's ready here. Look at that. Nice golden brown festival. Coming out now. And there we have it, guys. How to make crispy, fluffy, sweet Jamaican festivals. They're hot right now, so I can't really pick it up for you, but look at that. Delicious. And now we can try this with our jerk chicken. Make sure you click on the jerk chicken video to see how I made that to accompany these. Or if you make them by itself, let me know what you thought in the comments. See you in the next video. The nutmeg, the cinnamon, it's giving everything it needs to give. Crispy,